Hello YouTubers, today we're doing some testing for the British Rowing Beach Sprint Trials coming up only in about a week or so. So today we've got 7-stroke max to do on the rowing machine, we've got 250 meters to do on the rowing machine, and then finishing off with 1,000 meters on the rowing machine, all as fast as I can, no rate cap. And also, I have to do them all within 1 hour. So basically we're going to do them in that order, almost using the 7-stroke max and the 250 meters as a warm-up for the 1K. I've been doing a little bit of prep for the 1K and I've done scores previously. This is the 7-stroke, the 250, and the previous 1K I did about a month or so ago. So I'll be looking to do better than those times today. Now we've got to warm up, so probably a good solid warm up, but again, the 7-stroke and the 250 should be good to at least wake the body up. So let's get to it. Okay, we're on the rowing machine, we're all warmed up, ready to do the first test, 7-stroke max. The idea is to set the monitor to watts and then record the highest watts you can achieve in 7 strokes. So we're usually around 5 or 6 strokes, but you can extend that to 7 strokes if you need it. The drag factor for this is supposed to be at 138. So we're all set up there. Last time I did 995 watts. This time I would like to just bump it up over 1,000, but we'll see how we get on. Okay, needed those extra couple of strokes at the end. Obviously the technique there is just muscle it as much as possible, very inefficient, but managed 1,014 watts. So that's a decent improvement. That's 19 watts higher than last time, so it's pretty positive. Now, just about 10 minutes or so between the 7 strokes and the 250 meters. Again, I've got a score to beat for that, so the idea is to just edge forward a little bit and then about 45-ish minutes until the 1K, all done within that hour, to sort of mimic the idea of beach sprints, because it can be you do your time trial and then 20 minutes break, and then you do a side-by-side race and then maybe a 10-minute break and then a side-by-side race, depending on a few different factors, including how many people are at the event and the conditions and what's going on as well. So, and the idea behind doing it all in 1 hour, at least I think anyway, is to kind of mimic what you would go through on race day at beach sprints. So you might do a time trial and then 10-minute break and then a time trial and then a longer break and then a side-by-side race, then a short break and a side-by-side race. So it kind of gets that idea into the system. You have to be on it for this particular testing, 3 different efforts pretty close together. So now, keeping the legs moving, probably turn the fan on for the next one, 250 meters in about 10 minutes. Okay, so just over 10 minutes I've passed on to the 250 meters. Again, I've got a score to beat. This time, just trying to edge it forward a little bit. So get my biggest fan on. That should give me a little bit of push down the slide. Set the monitor up. Okay, 250 meters, as fast as possible. Some people like to have it in watts, I prefer mine to be in split. Oh! Boy, it always surprises me how quickly that springs up on you, how hard it is for the last 50 meters. So, memory wise, so 0.1 slower, first two splits, a good bit behind the first one, so not sure if that's maybe just a little bit of freshness maybe, or just not fully committing to that first sort of few strokes. Definitely in the last portion of that, maybe 10-15 seconds, as you probably have saw there, it was just pretty much all here. Brought the split down, or at least didn't let it fade too much, but still 0.1 slower, not ideal. Slightly disappointed with that, but it's very close. And for the rounding of the erg, just half a stroke here or there can push that down. So very similar score. Can't be too disappointed with that. Now, about 43 minutes moving around, and then we get on to the 1K, where it's going to be more about pacing it rather than just going as hard as possible. Now, definitely, the body's woken up for sure. Had a pretty decent warm up there. That didn't feel like a shock to the system, more so just fatigue and boom. So pretty good progress there. But just that time, just wanted at least 0.1 or so. Alas, we deal with the cards we're dealt. Now on to the last piece of the day. And just on the bicycle, in between the 250 and the 1K. The legs aren't feeling too great, but I guess that's the whole point in doing them all within an hour. And as well, what do you think of the new shirts? Got these made and selling them now on yamsquad.com. So let me know in the comments below what you think. But now, rest. Yeah. Okay, time for the 1K. Last time I managed a 251.2, so aiming to go a little bit faster than that. First goal, a little bit faster, 251.1. Second goal, let's try and get under 250. Pacing will be pretty important, like I mentioned. So on the last one, I pretty much went 26 for a good portion and pushed on in the last section because I was quite unsure of the actual 1K. I hadn't done any sort of faster pace for a long time, whereas I've done a few bits of pace much faster than 25, 26. So I should be able to go faster, but again, it's just a matter of convincing yourself that that's what's going to happen. And it is going to hurt regardless. It's just about making it hurt just enough where you can just keep pushing rather than too much and you fall off a cliff and can't push anymore. So ready for 1,000 meters on the rowing machine. Get the fan on again, hopefully it'll get pushed down the slide. Feet in. And a really important one for this as well, as with pretty much any piece, is off the start, you're really going to want to heave on it and really go for it. The idea is to keep breathing, really focus on the breathing, and sometimes just having a 10-stroke push where it's your breath you're focusing on rather than the split can really help down the line. So I'll be doing that a couple of times. You might hear me breathe a bit louder, maybe not. We'll see what we do going through this piece. Yeah! Oh! Whew. Wow, okay. 249.4. Pretty happy with that actually. As you saw, stepped on in the 600 after 600 or so. Right about here at 125 to 524, and then 600 to 800. It was, the light's not very good. It was providing difficult, and that's that point in the piece where you can easily just say, nah, it's too hard, and I'm going to stop. And that's where the pacing can be really important, because if I went just 0.3, 0.5 faster before, that choice to keep pushing is much, much, much harder, rather than pacing it right means that, yes, of course it's going to be painful, of course. It's a hard, flat out piece, but you have the mental capacity to keep pushing. So for me, for the 1K, I like to count strokes. So count to 100 strokes. And at some point, maybe it's 60 strokes, 70 strokes, somewhere around there, I start to see the light at the end of the tunnel. So I might not count to 100, but I've counted a massive portion, say 60 strokes or so, and I'm 600-ish meters in, I'm way past halfway. And then at that point, when that question does come into your head of, okay, I don't know if I'm going to make it, you're thinking, well, I just need to count another 10, 20 strokes, and you're in that portion of the piece where it's just really determination and grit that gets you through, rather than anything else. Of course, fitness, etc. is a big part of it, but again, it's going to be really, really hard at the end of the piece regardless. So that last 100 is a case of pushing anyway. So if you can get to that point, so all you have to do is push, you're good to go. So hopefully that makes sense, but pretty positive all round. Positive, a little bit disappointed in the 250. Again, I think that's more so just applying probably too much effort and not quite holding on. Definitely didn't flag as much as the last one, so positive there. And again, the rounding, so it's very, very similar times, but definite improvement in both the 7-stroke and the 1K. And that will be it for today's episode of yamsquad. Hopefully you enjoyed it. A little bit of yamsquad HQ footage. Now it's time to rest up, fuel up, get some food, because remember, food is fuel. And then we head down south to participate in a little bit of a camp prior to the British Rowing Beach Sprint Trials, and also the English Beach Sprint Regatta. So similar to the Jersey one, but down in England, and they're doing one all around Scotland, England, Jersey, Wales. So that's really exciting, and I'll see you there.